The Spy Family Code White anime film did something and made me do something that I've never done before, and that is go to a movie theater to see an anime film. Every anime film I've ever seen has always been after it's been released online. And there's actually a decent amount that do air near me, but for one reason or another I always say no. But Spy Family being as much of a passion for me as it is, I decided last night, 9:30, why not? Let's go check it out. And boy, was I glad to have experienced it. It was fun. You know, I've never watched an anime film with a group of people, strangers, and honestly, there was like a dozen of us in the theater, so, you know, for a Friday release going on a Tuesday, an anime film, not really, you know, it's not the most mainstream of shows. It was kind of fun having everyone laugh and just have a good time at Spy Family. And honestly, you know, I didn't go in with the highest of expectations because I knew this was an anime original film, but something I've been saying about Spy Family is that without a doubt, Spy Family has the potential to do a lot of anime original movies and have them be, at the very worst, decent. Because Spy Family, you ask any fan and they can come up with a story beat that would be fun for the Forger family. And the idea of such a basic story where we're trying to get Anya Estella, and this time it's cooking, so we need to make a dessert for the principal who will be the judge. And this dessert isn't, well, the most well-known thing, so they go on a little family vacation. Ropes into Anya swallowing some microfilm, and ultimately we get into chaos. If you show this to a Spy Family fan who hasn't read the manga, they're not going to assume this wasn't based on something in the manga. It feels exactly like what you expect. It has a bit of every charm of Spy Family, from the serious to the emotional to a lot of the individual story beats that just are really charming. And all I'm saying leaving this film is that without a single doubt in my mind, this film proves that they could do 10 original movies and probably have them all be fairly decent. This was incredibly fun, and there's a decent amount to talk about. Now, usually I'd say I have live reactions. Unfortunately, I saw this, you know, in the theater, so we don't have that. But I do have live reactions to Spy Family over on my Patreon if you're interested in that. And when this does get released online, I'll probably rewatch it in the sub because I watched it in the dub. That's what the theater had. And honestly, I've never heard the dub for Spy Family. I think maybe I've seen a clip here and there, but this was really good. Usually with, like, I'm not a dub hater because I think a lot of the criticisms people have for dubs, the only reason they don't have the same criticism for Japanese voices is because they don't speak that language and they don't realize that the over-the-top and ridiculous voices are just as relevant in the Japanese as they are in English. It's just because we speak the language, we can notice it a bit easier. And honestly, Anya's VA in the English really surprised me. She immediately fit exactly how Anya feels to me in the Japanese, and just very quickly, I was like, yep, this is the Spy Family I know and love. And honestly, Spy Family is probably the only show that can get away with a poop joke as much as they did, because that's in this movie. Because Anya ends up swallowing this chocolate, which has this secret, you know, I'm thinking it's just like, okay, we got some, like, Willy Wonka BS going on over here. Nope, there's actually a pretty important thing stored within the chocolate, which she ended up swallowing. And, well, how do you get it back? Well, you can cut her apart, which gets threatened quite a bit, or you can wait for it to pass naturally. And it's weird, you wouldn't think it would work, but everyone in my theater was laughing at the nonsense, especially because they go into this crazy animation sequence at one point where she's like trying to hold it in and like she's talking to the toilet gods. It's fantastic. But it's fun because even though you could ignore this film and nothing's going to change about the main anime series, right? The fact that it still feels like it was written as if it was a part of the manga. So the main story hook between Yor and Lloyd in this film is that basically, you know, it starts off very quickly that the people that she works with, you know, in her fake job, are talking about adultery and how to catch your man cheating. Here's the 3 signs. And she ends up seeing Lloyd at a far distance, and it looks like he's smooching with someone in the alleyway. And some of the signs are like, oh, he starts buying you gifts, or he takes long trips. And over the course of the film, she starts hitting those notes off more and more, to the point that basically, well, she's like, oh my god, he's cheating on me, but this is a fake life. If he wants to be with someone else, it's okay. And in very Spy Family fashion, we know this is a fake family that's without a doubt very, very real and genuine. It's just they all think it's only temporary. So the idea that we actually get these emotional moments, well, yes, you can make the argument, it's filler, it doesn't have any importance. It doesn't matter, man. Like, this was... It felt like it kept the charm and essence of Spy Family while actually progressing things. Like, even if, you know, because it's not one of those situations where it's like a big story beat happened, and now that if we don't ever see it referenced in the main anime because it's adapting the manga, then it will feel unnecessary. No, it's like, these are the types of emotional moments that the main anime doesn't have to reference because they naturally bond and grow anyway, so it just all gets chalked up into the same pile. But this was a very fun movie, beautifully produced, lots of action. Both Lloyd and Yor get some insane action sequences, like not just one or two. Like, it's actually a pretty action-packed movie, especially in the second half, and it has like that classic slice of life feel that you see in the most of the episodes. It just had a very simplistic idea for a story hook, but was able to make like 4 episodes worth of Spy Family feel like some of the best produced you're gonna see. It was cute, it was funny, and just in general, there's a lot of like fantastic moments, like basically like, see you in hell, baby. It's just like, it's so good to see them, and like the little moments that you always love to see. Like, it's not always about seeing Lloyd or Yor do these extraordinary things like, oh my god, they kick so much ass. It can be them, you know, Lloyd's basically trying to get this one ingredient because he needs to make basically the place that makes this dessert. They don't have the ingredients until Monday or whatever. They're going to be leaving the next day, so he goes to this like little carnival game that's rigged, and just showing him who's boss was fantastic. And just the idea of the whole adultery thing was really comedy gold, because from Yor's perspective, it makes total sense. It actually does kind of look like he's starting, oh, he's dressing different, he's getting me these gifts and everything, and by the end of it, you just feel like they actually like made up in a pretty wholesome way, but also kind of progressed their relationship. And just really, if you show this to a fan who hasn't read the manga, they're gonna assume it was probably pulled from the manga, and if you show an average manga fan this, they're gonna say, oh, that feels like it was written like it would be in the manga. Like, it actually feels like a manga arc. It's a really good movie overall. It was funny, it was action-packed, and honestly, like, I really hope they do a few more movies in Spy Family, because I think these could be great buffers, where it's like, okay, even if you get caught up to the source material, hell, you don't even necessarily have to do movies. If anything, Code White proves that Spy Family is one of the rare cases where you can have a lot of original content that's not pulled from the manga, and it should be very easy to keep it at the very least enjoyable. You know, when people complain about filler, this, that, and the third, well, I mean, the story of Spy Family, while yes, there is the big political stuff in the background, the core thing is just watching the Forager family grow. And you can easily add as much originality and spins to that as you want, and I think for me anyway, if Code White's a good indication of what they can do, make as many original episodes, OVAs, movies, and I think Spy Family could be in the rare case where it's like the average fan's not going to say, oh, they're just stretching it out. It's like, you can have hundreds of episodes of these goofballs doing nonsense. You can have Frankie get called up and cockblock once again to deliver you some alcohol, only for you to never show up, because he's always a homie, man. I love that, man. It's just, I had a good time, and if anything, it probably broke my spell. Now I'm probably going to check out a lot more anime films when they come out around me if I'm interested, because I've been holding out for too long, it seems, and Spy Family Code White broke that trend for me. But hey, let me know what you thought. So this came out in theaters in North America, at least around me, on Friday, so it's been out for a little bit. Came out in Japan, I think, in December of last year, winter film, and honestly, the overall look of the world definitely feels it. So if you saw the movie, what did you think, and how would you rate it among the Spy Family stuff that we've seen so far? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and of course ring that bell. And hey, over on my Patreon we do live reactions to a lot of Spy Family content. Like I said, I'll probably end up doing it when it does get released online in terms of a live reaction, but yeah, I also give video shoutouts and a lot of other fun perks. So today, in terms of the shoutouts, we got Azop, Eds, Lunar, Ben Liu, Rachel McPhee, and Devin Samuel. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.